Hello guys and welcome back to the Brighton career mode here on FC24. Let's get into it. We are now into the January transfer window and we are going to be making some moves in today's episode, so stick around and find out what moves we do end up making. First things first, we do have a game against Southampton coming up on the 4th. I'm not sure if I'm going to make any moves before that game, but we'll see. And then we have an FA Cup against Fulham after that, and then followed by a Carabao Cup game against Chelsea in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. We're going to at least simulate the first leg. Depending on how the first leg goes, we might play the second leg on the 29th just to see if we can, maybe advance forward into the competition, into the final. And we are definitely going to be playing the game against Everton on the 19th. Next thing we got to do is go through our emails and see what's going on. So Mark Leonard has left the club. He will be leaving for Luton Town. Jansen, our youth academy prospect, is leaving on loan for a 2-year loan. If we want to bring him back, we can. And Andrew Moran is leaving as well. And in the last episode, we got a transfer offer for Evan Ferguson from Juventus for 34 million. They're saying that we could get up to 47 million for him right now. I'm not going to sell him to Juventus because I feel like that's going to be unrealistic, but we are going to sell him at some point in this transfer window. I want to try to send him to a Premier League team that's in the top 6, but unfortunately we can't force a transfer like that to happen. So I am going to reject the offer from Juventus for now, but if an offer comes in later on in the month and we don't have any other options, we will send him to a team that I would deem as unrealistic. One position I am thinking about bringing in another player in is midfield. As of right now, we have Carlos Baleba, Andy Diop, and Billy Gilmore as backups, with Mahmoud Dahoud and Pascal Gross being the starters, but Pascal Gross is retiring at the end of the season, and Mahmoud Dahoud just isn't impressing me in the midfield. I don't enjoy playing with him that much, so we're definitely looking for different options in the midfield. I think I'm going to let Billy Gilmore go on a transfer if he wants to, so I'm going to add him to the transfer list. If he wants to go, he can go, but we'll leave that up to him. We're going to keep Pascal Gross, obviously, till the rest of the season, and if we can bring in one more player, we might let Mahmoud Dahoud go in this January transfer window as well. At the striker position, I am definitely trying to bring in Benjamin Sesko if we can get Evan Ferguson to move on to another club. If we sell Evan Ferguson, the first move we're going to make is bringing in Benjamin Sesko. And then in midfield, one player that I have my eye on that I really want to bring in is Fabricio Diaz. He's already got Premier League experience with Chelsea, and I already looked at his stats for this season in the Premier League and in the Champions League as well, or Europa League. I can't remember which competition they're in, but either way, he hasn't played at all this season for Chelsea, so it would not be an unrealistic thing for us to go after him. David Fratesi would be an excellent option, but he is just a little bit too high rated. He would only cost around 42 million, so not exactly as expensive as I thought he would be, but he's an 84 overall, which would make him the highest rated player in our club, and that just doesn't make sense for right now. And then we had two other options suggested to us in Ivan Illich from Torino and Moritz Kiergaard, I believe is how you say his name, from Denmark, playing for RB Salzburg right now. We still have to wait for the scout reports to come back for him, but Illich is an 80 overall, would be very, very interesting, only about 30 million, so, and those are the options we have for right now. But first things first, we're going to get into this. Actually, we're going to have some emails coming back. Buonanotte will not be leaving us anytime soon. We will definitely be rejecting that offer. And then we have a scout report back. Let's see if we have some interesting players coming back into the scout report. None of these players are good as of yet. We have one more player, Luke Terry, 51 to 69 overall. Not bad potential overall, but his potential is only 53 to 73, so we'll be rejecting him as well. But we now have a game against Southampton, so let's go ahead and get into this game. Before we do that, I will show you guys the Premier League standings. I'm just going to scroll through them pretty quickly. As you can see, we're in 8th place, so not having the worst of seasons, but Southampton, our up next opponents, are sitting down at 18th, so they're definitely not having a great season. This is the lineup that Southampton are going to be going with. We definitely should be able to beat Southampton in this game, and this is the lineup that we're going to be going with. Pretty much our strongest 11 that we can put out there. Buonanotte coming down on the right for Pedro Neto, who is a little bit tired, but besides that, mostly our strongest 11, so let's go ahead and get into this game, and let's get 3 points. Smith Rowe out to Bino Gittins. We're going to look for a cross to the back post for Buonanotte. Buonanotte gets his head to it and somehow finds the back of the net. That's one of the best headers we've scored all season long. Only 2 minutes into this game against Southampton, Bino Gittins crosses it towards the back post. Buonanotte has to step backwards and somehow gets enough power behind it to shoot it across goal with his head and somehow finds the back of the net, and we will take that gladly. A 1-0 lead here for Brighton after 2 minutes. Smith Rowe back out here to Bino Gittins. Can he make a move around one defender? He can. We're going to look for a pass inside to Smith Rowe. We find him. We somehow hold on to the ball. Bino Gittins looking for a pass into, I believe that was Buonanotte, towards the back post, but the goalkeeper is going to collect that one. Buonanotte inside to Ferguson. Ferguson sees Bino Gittins on the other side in the middle of the box, and Bino Gittins finds the back of the net. That is a 2-0 lead for Brighton here against Southampton. Keeping the pressure on their defense has led to both goals. Buonanotte did well to win that ball. Ferguson inside of Bino Gittins, and Bino Gittins into the left side of the net. That is perfect play from us and perfect going forward. 2-0 early on in this game and about 15 minutes gone. Gittins on this left side. He's been our most dangerous player so far. Smith Rowe with a shot, but it goes just wide of the post. And we are really putting it on Southampton here in this early on in this first half. Evan Ferguson with a pass back to Bino Gittins. Bino Gittins to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe looking over the top for Buonanotte, who finds himself with the ball, but unluckily he was offsides. Just barely though. Pascal Gross with a nice pass inside to Evan Ferguson. Does he have anybody with him? No, he doesn't. We're going to try to go for a cross. Evan Ferguson just ran past it, but nonetheless, we're going to find ourselves with the corner here. Emile Smith-Rowe swinging this one in. Estepinian up for it. Does find his header, but unfortunately, they're going to clear that one away. Bino Gittins inside to Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson returns the favor to Bino Gittins, looking for Smith-Rowe in the middle of the box, but unfortunately, it'll be knocked out for a corner. Pascal Gross in to swing this one in. Estepinian gets to that one as well. Knocks off of his arm, and that's going to be called for a free kick for Southampton. Bino Gittins to Pascal Gross. Pascal Gross, nice pass inside to Buonanotte, who's going to look for a run from Veltman, who's going to look towards the back post for Smith Rowe. We're just going to pass forward here. We find Buonanotte, who finds Evan Ferguson, who tries to take a turn, and I was just telling him to shoot. But that's going to be the end of the first half. The referee is going to blow his whistle for halftime, and we're going to take this 2-0 lead into half. If it seems like there wasn't a lot of highlights for Southampton going forward in that first half, it's because there wasn't. We were holding on to the ball. Good passes for the most part, not taking a whole lot of shots, but they didn't have any shots on goal and only 37% possession. So Smith Rowe with a nice pass out here to Jamie Bino Gittins, who's going to look inside for Evan Ferguson, who takes a nice touch and makes a nice turn, but that shot is going to get deflected off Buonanotte, and they're going to clear it away. Lewis Dunk sends a pass through to Bino Gittins. Bino Gittins into Ferguson. Ferguson into Smith Rowe. A heavy touch, but he gets his foot to it before the keeper gets there. Bazunu did well to try to come out to that one, but unfortunately he was not quick enough. And Smith Rowe finds himself with our third goal of the game. Ferguson inside to Smith Rowe off the pass from Bino Gittins. I thought that second touch right there was going to be too heavy. Or maybe his first touch wasn't too heavy, but somehow he gets his foot to it before Bazunu gets there and fires that one in right underneath his arm for our third goal of the game. Smith Rowe with a nice pass out here to Veltman. Veltman going to find Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson going to try to find the back of the net, but that shot is right at Bazunu and very weak. Southampton with a nice pass. Manning over here to Kamaldeen. Kamaldeen gets returned the favor and takes a shot, but Verbruggen is able to get to that one and able to make the save. Southampton with the corner here. They're going to take this one short. Kamaldeen back inside to Conceição. Inside to Bella-Kotchap. Not exactly who they want in the box. Conceição is going to take the shot. Might have hit an arm, but of course that's not going to be called a handball, and we're going to be able to get away. Southampton on the edge of the box. Going to go for a shot. Not sure who that was, but Verbruggen did have to get down to his right to make that save. And Southampton are going to have another corner here. This time they're going to swing this one in. Can we get to it? We don't really do very well to get to it, but eventually we're going to be able to get away, I think. Evan Ferguson looking over the top for Julio Enciso out on this wing. We brought him in earlier. Can we find someone at the back post? No, we can't. The cross was way too far, and that'll go out for a Southampton throw-in. Julio Enciso waiting for the overlapping run from Estepinian. We do find him. We do see Evan Ferguson at the back post, and Evan Ferguson with the leaping header, or the jumping header. I'm not sure what you call that, but anyways, it goes into the back of the net, and that is a 4-0 lead now. We have absolutely dominated Southampton in this game. Estepinian with an excellent cross to the diving header. The word I was looking for earlier was diving header from Evan Ferguson into the back of the net. Bazunu could do nothing about that one, and we take a 4-0 lead right before the end of the game. Smith Rowe with an excellent interception. Buonanotte, can he get past Bella-Kotchap? Looks like he's going to try, and he's going to go for that top corner, but he cannot find it. And instead, we will find ourselves to stay with 4 goals, but the referee does blow his whistle for full time, and we get a 4-0 win away from home at Southampton. That was a big 3 points there. We always want to come away from a victory. We always want to come away from a game like that with a victory against a team that is in the relegation zone. Now we have a couple of very, very interesting transfer offers from Arsenal and from Chelsea for Estepinian, which I might accept. I don't necessarily want to sell Estepinian, but unfortunately, when a team like Arsenal and a team like Chelsea come in for one of your players, and they offer you this kind of money, it's hard to turn them down, especially within England. I know that we're actually, kind of fighting for the same spots that they are fighting for, but unfortunately, I think this just makes sense. So we are going to delegate this, and we're going to try to get as much money as we can. And now we get a transfer offer from Galatasaray for Evan Ferguson, which we are definitely going to turn down. If it was a club in a bigger league, we would probably accept it, but unfortunately that one is just not going to make sense. And it looks like Chelsea have come back and said that they will pay us $59 million for Pervis Estepinian. which we are going to accept. Unfortunately, I don't really want to accept it, but we are going to accept it, and we are going to let him go if he wants to go. And with Estepinian potentially leaving, we are going to have to bring in a couple of left backs on our short list that we want to bring in. Yilmaz was one player that we wanted to bring in a while back, but unfortunately he ended up going to Crystal Palace. And then I just added Milos Kerkez as well. I feel like this move would make sense. He's on Bournemouth, a lower level side in the Premier League, but he could definitely move up to our squad and become an even better player. But before we get to that, we do have a game here against Fulham in the FA Cup, our first game in the FA Cup this season. This is the lineup that Fulham are going to be going with, so it is going to be a very, very tough game for us. And then this is the lineup that we're going to be going with. A pretty strong lineup, but definitely a few rotated players in there like Baleba and Barco, as well as Mercier in goal. So let's go ahead and get into this game and let's get a win. João Pedro finds a pass into Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe already getting past the defense. We're going to go for a shot down to the keeper's right. And we already take a 1-0 lead early on in this game, 3 minutes in to this FA Cup game against Fulham in these snowy conditions. I think one of my favorite things about Smith Rowe is his attack positioning. He's just always in good places to score goals or to get assists. And he can show off that. He's been showing that off ever since we brought him in the January transfer window last year. Alzate, our former player, inside to Iwobi. Iwobi, a former Arsenal man, back to Alzate. He's going to go for a cross, but I'm not sure where that was going, and we're going to be able to head that one away. Valentin Barco with an excellent pass inside to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe inside to João Pedro. João Pedro, probably not the greatest option there to go for the shot. Adingra tries to get it back out to Smith Rowe. We're going to keep the pressure on, but unfortunately we can't force a turnover, and they get away. And now Fulham are on the counter-attack. Tsimikas on this wing. Lamptey does well to knock that one away, but they're going to get called. We are going to get called for a handball, so they're going to have a free kick in a dangerous area. But luckily for us, that free kick is right at Mercier, and he's able to collect that one, and we're away. Adingra inside to Diouf. Diouf inside to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe tries to find a pass to João Pedro, but they clear that one. But only as far as Tariq Lamptey. Smith Rowe, not a great effort. Alzate tried to clear that one away, but that one wasn't a great effort either. And then Mbabu intercepts that pass, and they are away now. And the referee is going to blow his whistle for halftime right there. We are not going to be able to get a chance to go forward. But luckily for us, neither are Fulham, and we're going to take a 1-0 lead into halftime. Tariq Lamptey battling Alvaro on this wing. Alvaro's going to go for a cross, and Mercier just doesn't react to it and lets it go right over his head. And Iwobi is there to put that one in the back of the net. This was a great little dink cross from Alvaro. Mercier, I feel like, could have at least put his hand up or something, but just did not react to the ball. I mean, yeah, that one could have easily just been tipped out for a corner, but Iwobi finds himself with a header from about 4 inches away and puts it into the back of the net. Pedro Neto keeping the pressure on Calvin Bassey, able to find that pass. João Pedro inside to Baleba. Baleba going to take a shot. Not a lot of options there, so I decided to go for the shot, but probably not the best decision. Tsimikas pushing down this left wing. It's going to go for a cross, but that is going to find only a Brighton man, and we're going to be able to get away. Baleba turns it over in midfield. Iwobi finds a pass into Vinicius, and Vinicius puts it into the back of the net. Fulham have turned this game around here in the 73rd minute. Baleba with just a terrible pass. He's had a couple of really bad passes that probably haven't made it into the highlights, but Iwobi with a fantastic pass into Vinicius, and Vinicius fires it in to the right side of the net with that left foot and makes it a 2-1 game for Fulham. And after that goal, we're going to be making a 3-man substitution in midfield. Keeping the pressure on Diop and forcing a turnover with Dahoud. We're going to look back inside for João Pedro. João Pedro's going to wait for Julio and Ciso to get there, and then Ciso's going to go across goal, and we are going to get this one back leveled at 2-2 here in 78 minutes. João Pedro did very well to hold up play there momentarily so that Enciso could come in. And Enciso looks nothing like himself in this game. I'm not really sure what's going on there. They need to get him a face scan, but nonetheless, he finds the back of the net, and this game is level at 2. Dahoud out here to Adingra. I see someone at the back post. Decided not to go with the pass there. Adingra's going to push inside, though. Going to look for a pass now to João Pedro, who's going to get tackled at the edge of the box. Enciso finds a pass out here on this wing to Adingra. He has the pace. We're going to cut inside. Look for a pass to Enciso. Enciso's going to go for the shot, but Popa is going to knock that one out for a corner for Brighton. And now Dahoud is going to swing this one in. Can we find someone in the middle of the box? We cannot. They cleared that one away. Dahoud's going to look over the top for João Pedro. João Pedro gets his head to it, but it is a very, very soft header right at the goalkeeper for Fulham. The goalkeeper is going to clear that ball away, and the referee is going to blow his whistle for full time, and this game ends in a 2-2 draw, so there will be an FA Cup replay. And after that game, it looks like Arsenal have agreed a deal as well for 56 million for Estepinian. We will accept that one as well. Hopefully the Chelsea deal goes through, just so we can get a few more million. And Purvis Estepinian has chosen to go to Arsenal for 56 million over Chelsea for 59 million, which is perfectly fine with me. We are going to lose out on a few million, but he's going to choose Arsenal over Chelsea every time, just like everybody else should. We have an offer here of 8.3 million for Carlos Baleba, which we are going to reject, but we also have an offer here for Billy Gilmore for 5.7 million from Frankfurt. We're going to ask for a little bit more, but I am willing to let him go. We're going to ask for 6.8 million, and we'll go with that. And if they give us an offer between there, then we will likely let Billy Gilmore go. And now we do have a Carabao Cup game against Chelsea. This is the lineup they're going to be going with. A pretty strong lineup, but there are a couple of players in there that are rotated. And then this is the lineup that we're going to be going with. Again, a pretty rotated side, but there are still some very, very strong players in there. And just like every Carabao Cup game before, we're going to simulate this one. Depending on what happens in this one, in this first leg, we might play the second leg, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and quick sim this game. And we actually end up getting a 3-2 win with Evan Ferguson, Pascal Gross, and Emile Smith-Rowe scoring. So it's looking like we're going to simulate the second leg as well. And it's looking like Frankfurt have come back and said that they will take 6.5 million, or they will take Billy Gilmore for 6.5 million, which I'm willing to accept. And we are going to be seeing Billy Gilmore leave the club. But up next, we do have a game against Everton in the Premier League at the American Express Stadium. We are now sitting still in 8th place, but we do have a game in hand on Arsenal above us and Manchester City. So if we get 3 points in this game against Everton, we will go up into at least 6th place, potentially go up to 5th place, depending on how big of a goal difference we have in this game. This is the lineup that Everton are going to be going with in this game. They actually have Mykhailo Mudryk on the left now. Of course, Dele Alli in midfield, Beto up top, Pickford in goal. Pretty strong squad, but definitely a squad that we can beat with our squad. And this is the lineup that we're going to be going with. Smith-Rowe obviously still in the midfield. Everyone's still in their main positions except for Billy Gilmore. We're actually going to play him as a makeshift right back in this game because Veltman and Lamptey are both tired. So maybe Billy Gilmore can get in one more game for us before he goes out. Mykhailo Mudryk pushing down this left wing, showing off that pace early on. Finds a pass inside to Garner, who goes for a cross. Traore gets his head to it, and Verbruggen has to do well to make a save there. Everton take this corner short. Mykhailo Mudryk crosses this one over to, but it looks like that one is going to go out for a goal kick. Ferguson with the pass out here to Adingra. Adingra makes a nice move. Can he find a pass back inside? Smith-Rowe ends up with the ball at his feet off of deflection off the defender. And we find ourselves with a goal within 10 minutes for the third time in this episode. Adingra made a couple of nice moves inside. That final defender got a foot to it. I believe that was Holgate maybe, who tried to get a foot in, and it goes off of his foot and finds Smith-Rowe, and Smith-Rowe finds the back of the net. That's what I'm saying, man. Smith-Rowe, he always is in great positions. His attack positioning, I don't know what his actual stat is for it, but whatever it is, it's very good. Mykhailo Mudryk inside to Garner. Garner gonna go for a cross again. This time, Traore is gonna find it. And that is the second time this episode I feel like our keeper should have come out and gotten that ball and just didn't. I mean, let's look at this replay. Garner with the cross. And I mean, Verbruggen, like, it's in the 6-yard box. It's like 2 yards out from the goal line. So I'm not sure what he's doing. And Traore finds the header on that one and finds the back of the net pretty easily. I mean, he could have barely tapped that with his head and it would have gone in. We give away a free kick in a very, very dangerous area. Lewis Dunk fouled Beto whenever he was on the break. We're going to try to clear this one away. Barco does well, and then Pascal Gross is going to finally clear it out. Beto with the ball on the edge of the box is going to find a pass out here to Holgate. Holgate pushing forward nicely. Going to go for a cross. Billy Gilmore is at the back post to deal with that one, and we get it away. Traore does that thing where they just knock it past you, and he is one-on-one with the keeper. And that is going to find the back of the net every single time, and Everton take a 2-1 lead. Yeah, I mean, there's just not much you can do. They just kick it past all your players, and they're already sprinting, and your players take forever to start running. And that's exactly what Traore did, and now they have a 2-1 lead. Pedro Neto looking for a cross, not going to find Smith-Rowe, and they're going to call us for a fucking handball, and that's going to be a free kick. Smith-Rowe with a pass in here to Dahoud. Who's going to look over the top for Evan Ferguson. Michael Keane does well to get that one away, and they're going to clear it out. Neto with an interception in midfield. Smith-Rowe looking for a pass. I was really trying to find Adingra. Now we find Adingra. Can we find a way to get past the defenders yet again? That's not what I was looking for. I did not want you to do a fancy pass. And unfortunately, that's just not what I was looking for, and the referee's going to blow his whistle for halftime. Everton take a 2-1 lead into half. Adingra just running across the entire field. No one's going to stop him. And for some reason, Everton's defense just decided to not step in front of us. I wasn't even using the R1 sprint like, you can. I was just using the regular R2 sprint, as you can see here, and literally no one's going to stop us. And unfortunately, I'm going to take that every time because it is very, very hard to score against this AI. So it is now a 2-2 game here after 48 minutes. Mudryk using his pace on this wing to get around the defenders. Gonna ball roll inside, find a pass to Garner. Garner finds Traore. And Traore is going to take a shot, but Verbruggen does well to get that one away. Smith Rowe in the middle of the field finds a pass over here to Pedro Neto. We're going to have a couple of options. Not any options I want to use, though. Pedro Neto finds a pass back over here to Pascal Gross. We're going to go back over to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe is going to try to find a pass over here to Neto. Neto inside to Ferguson. And Ferguson tries to find the back of the net, but Godfrey clears that one away. Neto with a pass inside to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe is going to go back to Neto. Neto's going to find himself in a pretty dangerous area. Go for a shot. I don't know if that one was deflected. It doesn't look like it was, and that is going to be a Everton goal kick. And now Mudryk finds a pass into Beto. Beto takes a shot, but that one is right at Verbruggen, and he palms that one out, and we're able to get away. And now Barco with the pass out here to Adingra. Adingra's going to make a move inside. Referee, is that not a foul? I need Adingra to fall over there, and we might get a penalty. But Adingra does well to keep pressure on. Ferguson passing over to Neto, and Neto finding the back of the net. Forcing turnovers on the defense in this game, on the AI defense in this game, can sometimes be a little too easy in the back of the field. And we find our way to a 3-2 lead. Adingra and Evan Ferguson were hounding the defender, and he just wasn't making a pass. And Evan Ferguson sees the run of Neto across goal, and that is an easy, easy tap in for Neto. I don't care if you say we're sweating. We are sweating that goal for sure. Holgate out on this right wing makes a nice move around Valentin Barco, but unfortunately for him, that cross is right at Verbruggen and he collects it. And now 85 minutes gone, we're making a double substitution. Evan Ferguson out for João Pedro and Andy Diop coming in for Mahmoud Dahoud. We tried to make these subs about 15 minutes ago, but unfortunately the referee would not blow the whistle for any fouls or anything like that, so we're bringing them in now to hopefully seal this game. Pedro Neto makes a nice move to get inside one defender. Can we get inside another? We make a pass over to João Pedro, and João Pedro finishes that one off, and we get a 4-2 lead here with 92 minutes gone. Pedro Neto with a nice skill move inside one defender. We were going to try to get inside again, but I saw João Pedro across, and I thought, you know what, we should sweat this goal too. And João Pedro puts that one into the back of the net. The defender almost got to it, but luckily for us, we get this 4-2 lead, and we're going to find ourselves with 3 points in this game. And the referee blows his whistle for full time. That is a win. 3 points for Brighton and Hove Albion. And directly after that game is over, Billy Gilmore has been sold to Frankfurt for $6.5 million. We get a transfer offer in for Lewis Dunk from Liverpool, which we are going to happily decline. He has been a fantastic defender for us this year. And after that game, I've decided that I want to go after Yilmaz as our left back, so we're going to go after him. We're going to offer his market value $15 million straight up and see if Crystal Palace accept that deal. It's looking like they're going to want a sell-on clause. I do not want a sell-on clause involved in it at all, so we will increase this to $16.5 million, and hopefully we will see this deal go through. And it looks like we will. Roy Hodgson accepts, and Yilmaz is going to be a Brighton and Hove Albion player. And unfortunately, we offered him £5,000 or 5,000 euros more than he was making at Crystal Palace. And they are saying that that is an insult, so we will not be signing Yilmaz, at least not right now. And our FA Cup replay against Fulham has been moved to the 22nd of January, so we are going to be playing that game before we move on. This is the lineup that Fulham are going to be going with. It's pretty similar to the lineup they played against us in the last game. Alzate, our former player, is going to be facing up against us again. And this is the lineup we're going to be going with in this game. I'm pretty sure it is almost the exact same lineup as the one we played in our FA Cup game against Fulham the last time. So let's go ahead and get into this game. Simon Adingra pushing down, or that was Bino Gittins, excuse me, pushing down that left side. Finds Buonanotte with the cross. Obviously not exactly what we wanted to do there. Smith Rowe looking over the top for João Pedro. He's going to find the back of the net, but that is going to be offsides, unfortunately. João Pedro looking back inside for Buonanotte. We're going to try to find a pass here to Diop. Diop finds Bino Gittins. Bino Gittins is going to find Lamptey. We're just going to go for a shot here. Not a bad effort, but Popa is going to be able to collect that one eventually. Smith Rowe sees the run of João Pedro. João Pedro going to keep gunning, actually. Get past one defender, get past the other defender, and find the back of the net down to the bottom right. And that is a 1-0 lead for Brighton. An excellent run from João Pedro there, and an excellent shot with his left foot. Sees that one into the back of the net. Raul Jimenez pushing down this left side. Finds a pass inside to Iwobi. Igor does well to make the tackle. Lamptey does well to make that second tackle. and eventually we're going to be able to get away. Alvaro, I believe is his name, pushing down this left side. Going to go for a cross. Very, very similar to the one where he found Iwobi at the back post last game, but Mercier does well to knock this one out for a corner. And Fulham are going to swing this corner in. João Pedro up to head that one away, but does not do so very well. Bassi somehow finds a pass through, or tries to find a pass through, but unfortunately for them, it's going to end up in nothing. Raul Jimenez pushing forward. Igor does well to step in front of that one. That one's going to go out for another corner for Fulham, though. And they're going to swing this corner in again. Bornau does well to get to that one. Can he get to the ball yet again? We're going to go to kick that one away just to clear it out. Andy Diop sees Emil Smith-Rowe making a run. Smith-Rowe is going to try to turn inside. Does so nicely. Diop going to find a pass out here to Buonanotte. And the cross, I mean, crossing in this game is just, it's broken. Lamptey inside to Diop. Diop inside to João Pedro. And João Pedro into the back of the net, going right through the middle of the defense. Sometimes the defense just opens up and it doesn't make any sense at all. João Pedro was unguarded there in the middle of the box. Sometimes things in this game don't make sense, much like that cross that we just made right before that as well. But we find ourselves with a 2-0 lead, and I am happy with it. Andy Diop on the edge of the box here. Gonna keep pushing forward. Can we find a pass across to João Pedro? We can't. João Pedro keeps a deflection, keeps pressuring and gets a deflection, but unfortunately that one goes out for a goal kick. Oh, that was a pretty nasty challenge from Baleba, and that is going to result in a red card. I mean, I was going for the ball. The ball was there, but instead he just went for the back of the man, and unfortunately that is going to see Carlos Baleba sent off in this game. Jamie Bino Gittins fires a pass across, finds Buonanotte. Buonanotte going to look inside for João Pedro. Why would you turn inside? That just doesn't make any sense. Simicas into Alvaro. Alvaro to Raul Jimenez, who's going to take a shot, but it goes well wide of the post, and that's going to be a goal kick. Fulham pushing forward here. Simicas down this wing, tries to fire across inside, but only finds a Brighton man. Smith-Rowe looking across for Buonanotte. Buonanotte doesn't really have anywhere to go. Finds Veltman. I see someone at the back post. We're going to find Jamie Bino Gittins. That was an excellent shot, but it gets deflected and cleared away. Jamie Bino Gittins pushing down this left wing. I see João Pedro in the middle. João Pedro doing well to keep hold of the ball. We're going to look for a pass inside to Diop. Diop inside to Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe going for the shot, but Diop does just enough to get in the way of that. And now Fulham pushing forward here with numbers. Raul Jimenez takes a shot. Mercier gets down to his right to make that save, out for a corner. This time Fulham take the corner short. Alzate inside to Vinicius. An acrobatic shot, I guess you could say. Mercier makes a save on that one, another corner. This time they're swinging it in. Lamptey gets to it, and we're going to be able to clear it away. And now Iwobi on this left wing goes for a cross. Isn't going to find anyone initially, but it does find Castagna, who's going to go for another cross, but that one is a little bit too heavy, and it will be out for a goal kick. Bornau heads that ball away, and the referee is going to blow his whistle. We hang on to our 2-0 lead, even though we went down to 10 men. And we are going to be going through to the next round of the FA Cup. And after that game against Fulham, we do have a couple of very interesting transfer offers. One from Manchester City and one from RB Leipzig for Evan Ferguson, which we are definitely going to accept. Both of them, we will let him go to whichever club he chooses to go to. We asked Manchester City for $49 million for Evan Ferguson, and they accept that. And we're going to ask for the same from RB Leipzig to see which team he wants to go to most. RB Leipzig actually do not want to pay $49 million. They didn't even want to pay $47 million for Evan Ferguson. So this deal is not going to work, but hopefully the deal with Manchester City goes through. And here it is. Evan Ferguson is finally leaving us. He is going to be leaving for a fee of $49 million to Manchester City, of all teams. I'd say that's a pretty good deal for both clubs, and we will gladly take pretty much $50 million for him. And we will gladly use that money to bring in Benjamin Sesko. But you guys are going to have to wait until the next episode for us to complete that. We do have 5 days left in this January transfer window. We're at least going to be bringing in Benjamin Sesko. We're definitely going to bring in a central midfielder as well. But be sure to leave a comment about what central midfielder you want me to bring in. I showed you the few that we had on the shortlist earlier in the episode. But if you want me to bring in any more players, please let me know. Up first in the next episode, we will simulate that game against Chelsea right after we bring in Benjamin Sesko as well. And we'll finish off the January transfer window, and then we'll already be into the month of February. We'll have an FA Cup game to play, and then we'll have a few league games to play as well. But I wanted to thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like the video. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.